Okay, Jen today is going to be talking about, do you have psychic abilities? Do you want to awaken them? And she's going to help you, discover if you have abilities through your soul plan and Akashic records. She specializes in, she's known as the Awakener, the cosmic goddess, blue star, and channel for the highlight of the Akalakali. She's a renowned, I always get
Alakali.
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 Alakali. She's a renowned channel with the abilities that include Reiki Master, Teacher, Healer, Star Seed. And let me see where you are. I just lost you. I just spread my thing out. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I just lost it. I spread my thing out so I can read it better. There we are. Okay. Starseed Galactic Teacher and Spiritual Counselor and Angelic Healer, Oracle of the Akashic Records, Tarot, and your Soul's Plan Blueprint. She's a channel of the angelic, ascended masters, spirit guides, as well as light language, the highlight of Lakali. In her practice, she integrates her abilities and studies which awaken, empower, heal, and balance your life as you journey back to oneness. You can find her at Mind, Body, and Spirit.3, mindbodyspirit3.com. We got to talk about that.
I know.
It's got to be Jen. It's got to be your name.
I know it has to be so people can find me better. I know.
Yeah.
Coming in.
Yeah, I think your name might be the next branding that we're going to do.
Yes,
okay, girlie.
I agree. It's been coming in.
Okay, welcome to the stage. You got the stage for the next 25 minutes.
All right,
Give us all you got.
Beans. All right, my friends. Hi, my Earth and Star friends. So always happy to be here and to connect with you and to share my awakening story and also information about these 2 readings that I offer in my healing practice that will help you in ways, in every way, in every single way, as it has done for myself. So the soul plan is, I actually, now that I remember, I can bring it up with a share screen. Let's see. Here we go. Can you guys see that?
Yes, we can.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to give a little background about my awakening and how I really even came to this type of reading and just how it has changed my life and continues to do so. I know when you're looking at this, it just is a bunch of squiggly lines, but I'm going to get into all of that good, yummy stuff. All right, so I had my awakening through my son's friend who died in front of him. And I only met this boy for about 5 minutes, but I did speak of him when I was a little girl. He was my son. And I always used to refer, when we played house, Nicholas, Nicholas was my son. And that was my son's friend. I didn't put 2 and 2, of course, together. A lot of things that happen is in hindsight. And the night that he had died, it was something inside of me just cracked. And I started having just anxieties, and I started hearing voices and started seeing angels. And he actually came to me and told me that he was my son in a past life. We shared the same birthday in this lifetime. So that is a blessing, but I will say for the first couple of years, it was pretty difficult to have that connection with him as I was going through my dark night of the soul, which I will talk about in a moment. But during that process, everything I was reevaluating everything. It is also part of the dark night of the soul. And when you awaken, a lot of people will go through something that breaks them, that brings them down to their knees. It helps them reevaluate everything, who they are, what they're here to do, your relationships, your marriages, everything you start to reevaluate. And the dark night of the soul and your awakening process is just for that. That's the main purpose, to help you understand that you are an amazing being that you are here to offer, yourself and your abilities to mankind. And the awakening process is your starting point, right? So it's very difficult. I will not lie. It's usually, either a traumatic experience, a death of somebody, you go through an illness. You can have a near-death experience. I've had 5, which is in my soul plan, which I'm going to go through. But it's something that rattles you and breaks you down so you can start rebuilding your foundation, okay? So my experience was through trauma, like I just shared. And during this process, you will start to have people come into your life to help you. Your spiritual teachers, like I am a spiritual teacher and mentor. So when people are going through their awakening process, through their dark night of the soul, they are brought to me because I'm going to help awaken them to their soul path, to their soul plan. And I met a woman at a bookstore because at this time, angels started descending from my ceiling. And I really thought I was losing my marbles. So did my entire family, because I was sharing that, my son's friend was coming to me, talking with me, and all other spirits. And I started feeling things and having astral traveling, and Archangel Michael descending from my ceiling. So I was going into the bookstore to look up Doreen Virtue. It was a very well-known angel, person, wonderful books that helped me. And I went to the bookstore and a woman just came up behind me and just started talking to me, of course. And I was experiencing so many synchronicities at that time, which you will go through when you're awakening. You'll start seeing number sequences. You'll just have a lot of synchronistic things start to happen. And she was like, oh, I read this book. And we just started chatting. And she's like, I do these soul plan readings and I'm only up for a couple of weeks. Maybe you should have one. And that little voice that I always tell people, listen to that inner voice, because that's your guidance. That's your higher self speaking to you. And I said, okay, I'm going to listen to that voice. And I went and I had my reading, and it was everything that I've ever thought, felt, a lot of things that I didn't want people to know about myself. She put it all right there on the table, my challenges, my talents, my abilities. And she said, you're going to do these readings. And I kind of took it just like a grain of salt, like, okay, we'll see where that goes. And 10 years later, I've done thousands of readings. So, but the most pivotal thing when I had this reading was the very end, which was my soul's destiny here. She told me I worked hand in hand. I am part of the angelic frequencies and I work with Archangel Michael. And I just started to cry. I started to cry because I knew that internal, like something was happening to me, but I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. And you guys are all, if you're on that path right now, you know what I'm talking about when you have that internal knowing, like something is happening, something, I'm supposed to be doing something, but I don't know what, or you're having, the thought of maybe leaving a career and going into something else. So this reading, I'll just go through a little bit of mine to kind of share with you how monumental this reading is. This is based on your birth name, because your birth name, like when you're born, right, you have your astrology, your planets, a certain time. It constitutes, where all of your planets are going to be in your chart, right? This is your name that your higher self gave you. So your parents think they're the ones that gave you your name, but you gave yourself your name, just like you decided if you were going to be male or female, or if you were, what time you were going to be born and where. So you give yourself this name, and that is your entire energy field of everything that you are going to move through in this incarnation. So it is extremely powerful, this reading. life altering. One decision that you make can totally, completely take you in a different path of where you're supposed to be. All right. So when you look at the Star of David, a lot of people just leave it at that, that this is the Star of David, but it's not. It's well, of course it is the Star of David, the, you know, two-dimensional form of this, but it also represents your Merkaba. Now, when you start moving up and you start awakening and you start moving up in the layers and levels of your light body, you start to engage your Merkaba, your energy body. And this is your ascension vehicle, right? So this is such a powerful symbol that represents your entire energy field. So you have two interlocking triangles here. You have one on the way down, right? This is your worldly challenges, your worldly talents, and your worldly goals. And then you have the triangle going up, which is your spiritual challenges, spiritual talents, and spiritual goals. And in the center is your soul's destiny. Now you're going to move through life, through every one of these vibrations. Some will be more prominent than others at certain times. In my chart, I have 2 repeating numbers. So that indicates my soul wanted to have a little bit more focus on this vibration, thankfully, because this is a beautiful vibration that I've given myself. So I'm really happy about that. But you will experience through each one of these vibrations, there's so much information contained. These symbols is light language. I speak light language. I got awakened to the star light language. I do activations with the light language, but I did not know what these little squiggly things, when you know, you channel, you can speak a different language, your mother tongue, but you can also write, and these are codes. So these are light codes, and light language is really the language of the creator. So I'm actually going to do a light language activation at 5:30 as we travel to the Orion star beings and have a really cool, fun experience with them. But so this is the symbols, and each one represents something. Within each vibration is a star energy. So you have astrology, you have a polarity lesson or a quality. You have a positive attribute or a challenging attribute, because we're here to experience duality, right? We're in the earth realm, so we experience duality. So we're going to have a positive attribute within our vibration and our challenge. And it's also connected to a body part and an organ, which can be a weakness or a strength. I've done hundreds of readings for people who've had their gallbladders removed or have had issues with their kidneys and, you know, livers because of their energies, if they're always residing in the lower aspect of their vibration. So this reading will help you understand, one, what everything is that you're working with, but how to transcend your challenges and the lower aspect of these vibrations so you can move into a higher being, a higher aspect of yourself. And when I tell you, from where I was when I first started, many, many moons ago, 11, 12 years ago, 12 years ago now, wow, 12 years ago when I had my awakening, to where I am now, completely different reality, completely different existence. My whole life had changed. So I'm just going to kind of give you guys a little bit of an example, like, you know, how this information will help you. So if we look at my worldly challenges here, it's the 17-8 vibration. This little symbol here represents a tongue. And this right here represents Earth. So the polarity lesson with this is slavery to dominion. So now when we have our soul plan, okay, and our energies, every single person in our life is going to be a mirror reflection of the energies that you have in your chart. So for me, in my worldly challenges, I have constantly had relationships where people tried to take my power away, especially my voice. literally to my first husband, who sat there and said, I want you to stand here and not speak. And he was very dominating, slavery to dominion. He was abusive. And I had to, so he was that reflection. He was the player in my soul plan for me to learn this lesson, which is my worldly challenge, which is to break out of being enslaved, having relationships where people try to keep me quiet. And it stems from even your parents, your upbringing, not people wanting you not to express yourself, be seen, not heard, was my generation with the parents, right? You be seen, not heard. So I've had to go through numerous relationships and encounters, which are all a reflection of this vibration right here, about me needing to speak up for my truth. I used to have chronic strep throat in the first half of my life, which is connected to this because my throat chakra was blocked. I would put all of my emotions down and just, have it bubbling down deep inside of me, which actually caused a lot of health issues. So understanding that my husband and my first boyfriend and my parents and even my current husband, they are all a reflection of this vibration, and having this information, I understand what they're reflecting back, what I'm learning, and then I need to obviously consciously, this is where this reading helps you greatly, because you will now make conscious decisions on how to navigate through your life. So I started breaking out of the challenge that my soul wanted me to transcend. This is what your soul wants you to work on and to heal. So if I did not have this information, I know for a fact I would have continued repeating and running away, being submissive, not wanting to rock the boat, not talking about my spiritual journey, not talking about, hey, I'm seeing archangels, they're talking to me. So this really helped me to say, okay, it's concrete. I need to move through this. The only way you guys are going to ascend and descend into your higher self, into your body, is if you move through your challenges of each one of these vibrations. Okay. So interesting enough, we'll move into my worldly talents. This is a geometric shape that constantly reshapes itself of emotional structures. This is another polarity lesson that I have in this life of death to life. So this is where I've had 5 near-death experiences. It's also, I channel people who have crossed over, and I work with souls. They will come to me before they even consciously are aware that they are going to die and that they're going to cross over. And I help them through the death process of detaching from their physical body and helping them through all of the restructuring through the death process. It's been an incredible journey. When I had this reading, she didn't go into great detail. I go into extensive detail with these vibrations on how they're impacting your life, in the worldly aspect, but also the spiritual aspect, right? So this, I've gone through 5, near-death experiences, and I help people cross over, but this is very much connected to the left eye. This is directly connected to my left eye. And in the beginning, before I started really doing my healing work, I would always have issues with my left eye. It would always swell up. So this is how the energies will affect a body part and an organ. So I was not seeing myself correctly, basically, right? So you couple that with being enslaved in relationships. I'm not able to see myself correctly because people are trying to control me and mold me into what they want, right? And not speak up for myself. Now it's directly impacting even this vibration. So in the esoteric, in the spiritual aspect, I started receiving, the higher I go up into my light body, I actually see geometric shapes in my left eye that help me see dimensions, to help me see more of my truth. So this is now the spiritual aspect of this vibration. Okay, this spiritual talents right here is all about helping people. This is a link that unites. And I know a lot of people here who are watching this have this vibration. This is about mind, body, and spirit coming into unity. You cannot descend and connect to your higher self if you do not unite your mind with your body and your spirit. Okay, this is action. This is an energy of action. So it drives my husband nuts in the worldly aspect, because he'll mention something to me and 5 minutes later, like he'll be like, oh, it'd be nice to go to like Costa Rica. And then 5 minutes later, I got everything planned out. It's like all ready to go. And he's like, I just mentioned it to you. Okay, there's no time like the present. Let's rock and roll. But that's where in the worldly aspect, this energy came in. This is a really beautiful networking energy. So connecting people, it's all about uniting with yourself, and restructuring. So this is just kind of giving you a couple of examples through my own, soul plan here. The 4 4s are all about abundance and creating abundance through ideas and thoughts, and connected to the sun. My soul's destiny here, this is the highest vibration that you can have in this chart, which is based in ancient Hebrew gematria, where we convert your name into frequencies. And this is really where I channel the archangels. I'm here to bring down heaven into earth. It's work. It's working. Every spiritual ability is under this. Channeling, archangels, healing. I'm a Reiki master teacher. This is actually the teaching vibration, which was one of my big spiritual challenges, was going out on my own, knowing that I could teach. And I always think it's kind of funny that my husband is a social studies teacher. So he's very earthbound in his teaching, and I'm very esoteric in my teaching. Now, another really cool thing about these readings is this is your original birth plan. Okay, so this is going to be all of your challenges, talents, and goals, all of your psychic abilities. You'll be able to understand why you've had every single relationship that you've had, what you needed to learn from then. And more importantly, I will tell you, I have stopped negative karma. And I'm going to get pretty explicit here, a rape. I have stopped a rape happening to me because of this vibration. If I did not have this knowledge, I would have just cowed down and been a scared little girl and not spoke up to myself. And no doubt, the karma between me and this person would have gone to a sexual abuse, because it was going that way. And when I had this reading, I understood that this was a major thing that I had to speak up to, and I had to stand up against my abuser. So I got rebirth. Here's where this rebirth came in now, because I was reborn moving through this challenge. Now I went higher up into my energy field. So when I tell you this can literally change your karma and experiences in this life to the highest, it's just incredible. So, okay, so another thing that you can do after you have this reading is called an overlay reading, which is your current name. Like I go by Jen Post with 1 N, because my higher self wants me to experience certain frequencies. So it's called an overlay. So we have your original birth plan, and then you have your overlay overlay chart. You'll know all of the positive additive energies that your higher self wants you to experience. So there's no mistake that you are going by. Let's see, Joanna Frame, I see on here. If you're using that written expression, there's a reason for that, because it's bringing in additional frequencies that you're going to utilize. That's only going to amplify what you're here to do. So it's it's really fascinating when people say, I changed my name. I feel like I'm supposed to go through, I feel like I just resonate like Prince. Prince changed his name into a symbol. People used to laugh at that. I used to laugh at that when I was, not understanding, but he was a very gifted, very elevated soul who understood vibration. So he literally changed his name into a symbol, right? So then a third reading you can do is a relationship reading. I'll give you the example of me and my husband. He's my twin flame. So my husband and I put his name in the chart. We have we have 1, 2, 3, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, 1, 2, 3, 5 of the same energies in the same spot. Okay. And what that really validates is that he's my twin flame, because we are obviously the half of each other, that it's showing up even in his soul plan. But those couple of different vibrations that he has, I'm here to help show him what he's not integrating. And he's also showing me these aspects. So relationship readings are incredibly powerful, because honestly, he has 2 vibrations where he is not open to even having a soul plan reading done. He is completely angry towards spirituality. So here we have my plan, who is all about awakening and showing others who they are, and he's reflecting that. So if you're wanting to understand your relationships, your love relationships, and how you guys will be working with each other through your soul chart, powerful. I probably would have, I think honestly, we would have divorced, because I would have been like, we're 2 different people. You're completely unawakened. You're 3D. You're, not working on yourself. And I'm all about that, because my soul's destiny is about, all I'm here to do is work on integrating my higher self into full soul consciousness in this lifetime. That's what the 10-1. And he actually has it in here too, but he's my twin. So he's the opposite. So he's in the lower aspect of this vibration. So I think I probably would have hightailed it a little, a long time ago. And on February 12th will be our 12-year anniversary. So thank you to the soul plan that had saved us. Okay, so I know we're running a little bit out of time. I do want to just give a little cosmic update, because it's so very important. The highlight of Ala Kali that I channel is my aspect of myself in the Pleiades. I do channel all of the star races. I am an activator to the star races. I offer many channelings twice a month on Zoom, where we move into all of the different dimensions and have incredible, we went to Lemuria, we went into inner Earth last week on the 17th of the wolf moon, got activated with the dragons and the mermaids and, beautiful beings of light. And the highlight of Ala Kali, speaking very specifically about this year, 2022 is the year of love. It equals a 6, but this is going to be the year of empowerment, she told me. Okay. So where are you giving your power away? To whom you're giving your power away? And to what are you giving your power away to? What fear, right? What shadow self? The 7s in the chart all have to do with the shadow self. What aspects of myself do I not want to look at? I was very insecure, the 17-8. I was submissive. I was a perfectionist, highly critical, highly judgmental on myself, because I was not seeing myself correctly, which is all of these shadow aspects reflected in my soul plan that I needed to integrate. Okay, so the highlight of Ala Kali, this is the year of empowerment. Okay, so you're going to do a lot of soul reflection this year. Your soul plan will give you all the answers that you need to where you're giving your power away, to whom you're giving your power away, and to what. Are you giving your power away? Like, what's your story? Is your story that of fear and anxiety and disconnection from your higher self? Or is it what a life of bliss, a life of joy, a life of connection, a life of sharing love? There's going to be a ton of heart chakra awakenings, which, by the way, COVID is part of. It is part of awakening mankind because, one, it has allowed us to take away all of the busyness of the world. I channeled St. Francis a year before COVID happened, and he kept telling me, we're going to move into a time of simplicity, where all the hustle and bustle of all the disturbances, to have a time to focus on ourselves, to focus what we need, inner connection, right? So
Jen,
a year
Jen,
later,
Jen, I need to move you into your room, sweetie.
oh, shoot.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, we're out of time. And
Okay, out of time.
yeah, we're out of time. You know, we can, I know you're used to an hour, but we're giving you an hour in the playroom today.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Okay, I know, like, once we get you going, we can't stop. You got so much to share. I love you lots, but we got to stay on schedule to honor the next
Absolutely.
speaker.
All right. So we
Okay.
got to pick our number, right?
Pick our number, guys. Put in the chat from 0 to 100. You want to have a session with her. She'll be in the playroom for a whole hour today from 6 to 5:30 to 6:30 to have a more of an experience with her, and you're going to get to know her name and she'll get to know your name. Yep. Hey,
And
Brenda. Yep.
so I'm offering for, my guides told me, for this new year of people stepping into their power on January 11th, I took my prices down from 170 to 111. So this is a huge discount for your soul plan. So totally take advantage of it. It'll be the best reading that you've ever had. It gets recorded. You will listen to it a week from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, and it will always help you and guide you through everything that you're moving through. So take advantage of it. Even just text me, tell me that you did this event, we'll go.
I heard you're already booked for the day, guys. She's
Yeah.
completely booked for the day. If you go to room number 2 to book a session, we'll make sure that you are in contact with her for the future. She'll get your email, your phone number, whatever. Julia will take the information and she'll honor the price going in to next week. So guys, she is booked today. I heard Joan Francis is booked today. A lot of healers and readers are getting booked. So if you guys want sessions, go to room number 2. Guys, we're going to do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your number in the chat so we can move along. We got Carol Aliohella Ramsey coming up next, who's going to be doing predictions she's going to be channeling the Venusian Speaks channeling predictions for 2022. And then right now we also have Rachel Warren, the Serenity Goddess, doing violet flame healing sessions, activations, readings in room number 1 in the playroom. Okay, guys, so let's get ready to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for a session with Jen. Let's bring Jen back up and let's see her number. Where is Jen? Okay, let's pin her, please. Okay, ready, guys? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can only win 1 prize per day. 1 prize per day. What is your number, Jen?
22. Power number 22. Powerball, year of power.
Oh, we got a Lacey Wilbanks at 22.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
She was listening. She was listening. She did good.
Hey, Bev, you got somebody. If you're listening. We got a psychic. We got a psychic in the room who's got 2 for 2 already.
There you
All right,
go.
so
2 for
Lacey,
2.
please follow her to room 12. Anybody else want to chat with her? Go to room number 12.
Please.
She's available. She's not available today for booking. She's already booked, but she'll be back on stage in 5:30 in the playroom.